Hello everyone, welcome to the Missing Chapter. In today's episode, we have Flight Lieutenant Miss Sunita Dixit ma'am. She's a retired IAF officer and today we'll be interviewing her. Thank you ma'am for being on the show.
Thank you, Thejas. It's wonderful that you're here and it'll be great going. Chalo, shoot.
Yes ma'am. Ma'am, firstly, to begin with, what inspired you to join the Indian Air Force?
The inspiration comes from the family, of course. I have a family background of army people in the house. My dad was in the army. My brother is in the army. My uncle is in the army. So we have a lot of army guys. So I was the first one into the Air Force. So that should be the inspiration, maybe.
Okay. So you have a generation of family members who are in the army.
Absolutely. Out of the five of us, three of us are in the defense forces. Okay. Two in the army and one in the Air Force.
Okay. Ma'am, how did you change your career from being a retired army officer to joining teaching sector?
From being an Air Force officer, it so happened that, initially when I was, in the Air Force, teaching was one of the things that I really wanted to do. But Air Force was a passion and I was working there. Then once I retired, I planned to take up this as a career. So I did my B.Ed after, being an Air Force officer. Then I went into teaching field and then became the principal of Army Public School, Khadakwasla. That is the National Defense Academy, which is the sanctum sanctorum of all the best of the officers who come out, whether it is Army, Navy or the Air Force. And after that, I came to this college as a principal and I'm very happy here.
Okay. Ma'am, what was your family's reaction when you told them that you want to join the armed forces?
Okay, I think they were pretty happy. First thing is when my mom was very, very happy because I think I was the first lady officer from the family who is going to be. And also she has seen defense services. So there was no hang-ups on you should not go or anything like that. So that was one thing. My sister was extremely proud. My brother was young then. He was not into forge by then. My dad was, I think, the super happy person. He went around telling everybody that, my daughter is now going to go into the defense services and all that. I think the first round after we finished our exam itself, he was like extremely happy when we got the results. So I think they were amazed.
The family usually doesn't support children to get into the armed forces a lot, considering the amount of pressure and stress the armed forces, the person in the armed forces take. So that I think is a.
I think, see, that is because if you're a civilian, you wouldn't want your children to go in thinking that it's too risky and, my kids may not be able to do it and all those things. And they have to stay away, of course. So, but then once any of your family members are in the service, they get to know what is serving life. It's a different life altogether. The organized way in which we behave, the discipline, it's a altogether new thing. So anybody who is once in forces, they will want their children to be in the forces. They would want them to be, disciplined and organized and lead a very healthy lifestyle. So I don't think, once you are in that first step, maybe my grandmother was great that she sent her son. And so once my father was in, see, he let both his children go to the forces. So there's nothing that he even thought that, and my brother was in the front line. So he was at a very, very risky job. And me, if I am going to the Air Force, I am also into, risking my life. But I think that is the way of life that they want us to be in. So that's the thing.
Ma'am, we learned that you had served in the Air Force in the logistics part. Not everyone knows about the logistics in Air Force. So how would you describe the logistics sector in Air Force?
See, basically the logistics part of the Air Force is the part that caters for all the needs in the Air Force, whether it is rations, whether it is clothing, whether it is aircraft spares, machines, everything. So everything goes through the logistics. Even Ray-Ban glasses that a pilot wears goes through the logistics. A glove that comes, we test and certify and get it, going. So a machine part is down. The first person to be questioned will be a logistics officer. The why is this machine down? Whether it is a fighter aircraft or a transport or anything else, even a motorbike in the Air Force, they will question us that what happened to this thing. So we are answerable to all the things that is there in the Air Force. Anything that is moving, anything that is given, eaten, everything goes through us. So that is the logistics branch.
Ma'am, did you face any sort of societal pullback? Did anybody in the Air Force taunt you with regard to your gender, or anybody held you back thinking about gender as such?
I think I was very excited when I got commissioned or when I started going for the training and all that. And instead, it was the other way around. Whomever I told that I was going to join the Air Force, they were super thrilled. And I think with open arms, I never faced. I mean, to be really true, I think thankfully, this generation, the generation which I was born, people were very happy and they supported all these things for the girls, and we were into sports and all other activities. So gender wise, no. But yes, of course, when you join the Air Force, when you start doing your physical activities, we all come to know that at some point in time, girls fall a slightly short than the boys in the beginning. Then that time we used to have some people telling that, Are, when you cannot do it, why are you coming here? You should be staying home and all those things. And they were all fellow, cadets. But over the period of time, we all catch up, and then we all are at the same. We have to face the same physical trauma or same physical exercises. We have to clear all the bars, and there is no concession given for the girls. That is when the boys also realize, okay, these girls have to do everything that we are supposed to do, whether it is jumping from any meter of board for a swimming pool, learning swimming, clearing that swimming test, doing the drill square test, anything is there. Everything we have to clear exactly like the boys. So they realize that, okay, there is no difference now. So once we all become the officers, we are at the par. But yes, in the beginning, because see, girls, we don't actually, like not me, of course, I could see my cadets, other cadets, they didn't go for sports. For them, it was very difficult. So I feel that, the girls should be into sports, so that if they are trying to build a career for themselves in the defense services, definitely they should be in the sports. So that way.
Ma'am, were there moments in this process of becoming an IAF officer, were there moments when you really wanted to give up, when you couldn't do it at all?
Not me, of course, because like I said, I was champion in my school days and college days. I was a sport champion. So physically, I never felt that kind of pressure for myself. But I could see the others. They felt the physical pressure. They wanted to leave. They used to cry. There were few girls, but not just the girls, even the boys. They were stressed out and they wanted to quit and all that. Then they were counseled and they were brought back. That's a different thing. But yes, there are times when you find others into such kind of a situation. But I think most of us motivated each other. Ki chalo, let's move on. I think that is what a leadership is all about. We motivated each other to continue in the forces.
Ma'am, as civilians, we don't really understand how the armed forces work. We don't really get the ground reality. So, how would, in a few words, you describe the Indian Air Force when you served?
I think I'll start with the Indian Army, because I feel that their life is very, very tough. Because I remember my brother, he was just, newly commissioned officer, and he was posted in one of the places. I don't want to take the names, but his friend was also in the same trench where he was there. They were, fighting some terrorists, and very clear instructions were there that don't raise your head above a certain level. And out of curiosity, this boy just raised his head. Not my brother, the other boy, and he was shot in the head. And my brother had to lie down there along with this fellow for 5 hours before the whole operation was completed and they were evacuated. So he didn't eat his food for 5 days. So there are risks. this job is not easy. And so when my dad also was in the army, he was in the 65 war and he was in the 71 war, and he still narrates the story of this lady medical officer who shot 16 Pakistani soldiers when she was a doctor. She had all patients there in a trench, but she was shooting from there only because when she saw the soldiers coming, and she not only shot, she killed 16, but they caught her. They put her on a one pole, and absolutely stripped of the dress, and my dad was supposed to go and get her back to India. So it was and when he says, and when he has seen that, and then after that also he's ready to send his daughter into the Air Force. So he has got a lot of guts, I must say. And we all have seen, heard these stories, and we feel that, if one person can do it, why not me? And I should be the person who would be doing it. So we don't think that much about this one. So patriotism comes first, nation comes first. It is always like that.
Ma'am, how do you think the armed forces has changed over time, considering you served in the IAF a couple of years ago? Do you see any significant changes now?
Absolutely. The defense services now is well equipped. We never had a mobile phone when we started off our career. So it starts with the mobile phone, the cameras, the GPS and trackers and radars, and all this has over the period of time, everything has changed, everything has digitalized, and I feel it has become more safer. Earlier there was a risk if MiGs and all are going inside a warfield. We used to call it as a flying coffin. We used to feel that these guys, I don't know whether they'll come back or not. But now it's not so. We have the best of the equipment. We have the Rafale. We have so many different aircrafts that is going in, and I'm sure that when you hear the sound of a Sukhoi, you will come to know. You will feel that that adrenaline rush in your body. That we are something now, and we are, of course, now you might be hearing the news and all that. We are on the topmost, and people are scared of us, and they should be. Why not?
Did you ever have a near-death experience as such?
Near death, I could say that it could be, fatal, but it so happened that we were in the Himalayan ranges. We were flying an AN-32 aircraft, and it has two engines. So one engine failed, and there was a lot of turbulence, and there were hilly areas and all, but thanks to Flight Lieutenant Lobo and squadron leader Hemant, they kept so cool. They just showed me that, see, that engine is off, and I was like, oh my god, what is going to happen? So I said, chill man,
so it's like a goosebump.
So they never, it was a big incident, but they never showed that they were so calm. So I feel I am very happy, proud of our country, that we have some wonderful pilots with us. So that I can say, very close to something I feel that might have caused an accident, and it could have been fatal too.
Ma'am, do the officers in logistics ever go on missions? Or
Of course, we are into missions. We are into forward areas. We are trained for ground duty. Defense mechanisms. We are posted at the border areas. But only thing is that the face of the efforts is the flying. They are doing, to keep them flying. We have to work 24 hours. So that ground duties are actually unsung heroes, I can say, because they do a lot of work. They are risking the fighter, traffic controllers, the ATC towers. All these people are under risk. They are in the airfield throughout. They can be bombed at any time. And whether it is in the forward area, whether it's a border area, all these places. So that risk is there. But of course, as a logistics officer, we are trained for everything, but we are not the frontliners. We are the support system for any issues that might happen, and we are the ones who supply everything to them. We hold fort. till the last. We have to give them ammunition, we have to give them everything. So we can even ourselves call that we were frontliners as well.
How hard is it to become a fighter jet pilot? Because not everyone gets the opportunity to do so.
Hard, I don't know whether it is hard, but definitely you should have an aptitude for it. That's why they have an aptitude test.
Okay.
You might be an IITian, you might be a super intelligent person, but you will not be a fighter pilot, because it has an aptitude that it takes for a person to become. So you have to clear those tests. You have to you should be physically fit to fly in this one. It has lot of G force that you will undergo. It is a lot of pressure, and you have to be in the cockpit. You are all alone, and you have to take your own decisions. It's like you might be very good at video games, and probably you might be very good fighter pilot as well. So not everybody's it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is not something that people cannot do. If you want, you can do it.
Ma'am, what's one big misconception about the armed forces, especially the Indian Air Force, that the civilians have?
See, I think first thing is the civilians do not value their nations, their nation's importance, that you are living in a free country. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. A defense personnel is bound by rules. If a defense personnel does not slap you on the road for doing something wrong, that is because he's been trained to, stay calm. He cannot go out and start saying, so I am so and so. You will never see a defense personnel, a colonel, or a wing commander, or a group captain, or an air commodore. He might be in the market. He will never go around and show off. But you see a civilian, if he becomes an MP, MLA, MLA's son will start behaving as though he's something great. So I feel that defense people should be respected, and especially because you cannot respect them when they are in the service. They will not even reveal that they are officers. But at least when they retire, they martyr, we should be able to respect their contribution towards the country. And it's a big contribution which maybe civilians will never understand unless they are related, or they know some defense people. They will never understand what they go through. They have to stay away from their families. But it's not that they're sad, it's not that they're unhappy, but because there is a professional thrill in being in the defense services. But civilians do not understand, and I think we need to make them at least, like in some other countries, you have Korean countries and all this, where there is 2 years training for all students. All young men, young women have to undergo 2 years of training, military training, compulsory. I think if that is there, then people will respect what is happening in the defense services. They will know things in the defense services.
People usually tend to neglect the sacrifices of the army men.
The simple fact remains that we adore our actors who do nothing. They just are earning money out of the acting, going to the theaters. But what about our army people? They laid their lives, some of them without their legs, without their hands, blinded, all these during the phase of war, or even the cold wars that happen in the border. They are into all those things, but civilians don't even know. They don't respect that. So I feel that these heroes, which I think lately in the most of the media they keep showing these days, but this isn't happening from 1965 war. And how many of us know who laid their lives, who didn't? How many mothers lost their sons, isn't it? So I feel that we should at least in our own area, like if we are in Bangalore, at least we should find out how many defense people, retired people are there. We should honor them at some point in time, call them as chief guests, let them talk to the students, let them, make them understand that what they did for the country.
Ma'am, can you tell us about a mission that still gives you goosebumps? Something that you did on field? And
Okay, so it's probably during the Kargil war. when we were on 24 hours duty. And I feel that how we did that, I still wonder. No sleep and no nothing. We were continuously working, and when we were tired, we used to just sit down, and then, that's how it was. Continuously, we were working during the Kargil war. And because we were in the supply chain, so demands were like, for all kinds of things. So we had to do it, like that, quickly. Everything was quick. Everything had to be done perfect. I mean, there was no scope that you could do a mistake. So I think that part of my life, when we were there in the EDs, taking out things for the preparing for the war, I think that gives me goosebumps even now, because we were, in the war at that time.
Ma'am, what core values have you received from the Indian Air Force while you were serving?
The core values, first thing is that all of us are patriotic. We become extremely patriotic when you join the forces. I mean, the way we are nurtured, we become confident about our country. We start loving our country more, once we are in the forces. I don't know about the civil people, but definitely the defense people, they like the country more. They do things even when they are not being watched, for the country. Whether it is small little things, that can benefit the country, they will try to do that. Overall, our personality changes, from we are not those normal guys. We have a different aptitude, attitude, for the nation. So I think that is the core values that we have. It is purely patriotism.
Do you miss the uniform?
Definitely, I miss the uniform. And if given a chance, I would like to wear it once again at any point in time.
What do you consider India's current posture and preparedness, considering Operation Sindoor? How do you think India is prepared right now? How prepared do you think India is right now?
We are very well prepared. I think, see, presently we are well equipped also, with the latest machinery and everything, like I said earlier. But the thing is that, earlier, like few years ago, maybe 20 years ago, the way that defense people were approaching was different. We were not, we were more mostly defensive. If there is a cross border firing, we refrain. We have to ask people, should we fire back? What should we do? There is so many, this one. With the new government coming, I would say that we have a free hand. That's what I know. Speaking to my course mates and all those people who are actually in the defense services, my brother, of course. So they have a free hand. I mean, they don't. If there is one firing from that side, here there will be 15 firing. So there is no dearth of arms and ammunition. And what we call it in Hindi, muh tod jawab. You do something, we will do 10 times that. So that kind of attitude was missing earlier, and that is there now. So I think that comes with proper leadership, and giving that free hand to the defense people was a very, very important thing, and that is new.
And what kind of training did you undergo in the logistics part of the Indian Air Force?
See, the training, I would say that it was tough but interesting as well, because we have to undergo, like I underwent a training in AN-32 aircraft. That is an Antonov 32 aircraft. It's a Russian aircraft. I had done a Tetra course in that. We know everything about that aircraft. What is there and what is required and how it works and everything. I may not be a pilot, but definitely I know everything about that aircraft, particular aircraft. So all logistics officers are trained in different aircrafts. So similarly, how a technical people is also trained in different aircrafts. So are the pilots trained in different aircrafts, and this helps us to give the perspective about that aircraft, the requirements of the aircraft during the this one of a war. So and then. one of the very interesting thing about AN-32 aircraft is a very, very powerful aircraft. It's a very, very old aircraft, but it's extremely powerful. It has twin engine, and we used to do this drop sorties at Arunachal Pradesh, wherein we had to drop some, luggage through a parachute at especially this Zero. There's a place called Zero in Arunachal, where the pilots actually don't land. They just go there and they pull up, and when they pull up they drop whatever that they have brought for. And this is only a civilian mission. We want to make the people there survive, so there were clothing, there were other things, food, all these things. And it is such a risky operation that they undergo. And for whom? It is for the civilians there. So I think defense people go beyond the call of duty. Our government goes beyond the call of duty to help the civilians, and that you might have seen in other sectors also, isn't it? So we have to undergo that kind of training. So, and we like, whether it is a flood, whether it is any other issues in the land, people are, defense people are there, whether it is building a bridge overnight, whether it is Kedarnath, Badrinath, all these floods happened, so immediately there were defense people there. So, or airlifting people, and all that requires to be actioned very quickly. So we are trained for that, to do work within no time.
Ma'am, have you taken part in any rescue operations during natural calamities?
Not really. There was no natural calamities as such, where I was posted. But I have my friends who have taken part in such activities, like airlifting of people and all those things.
Ma'am, can you tell us a little about any of the unsung heroes that you know about? Not really famous, but you believe them to be a real hero?
I think there are many unsung heroes, and some unsung means it is they are heroes in the defense perspective, but civilians don't know them. If I say Nirmal Singh Sekhon, how many of us will know? Captain Kalia, how many of us will know? Will not know. They were tortured like anything. Like Nirmal Singh Sekhon was a very young pilot, and he went into the defense land, sacrificed himself at the age of probably 22, 23. So who knows about him? How many of us know about him? No, we don't know. And similarly, Captain Kalia also, he was like tortured very, very badly. You should go and read. You will really feel that a person like that was there in our defense. This one. So there are thousands of people who are unsung. Those people who died in the war, whom we don't know their names also, probably. I think they are the unsung heroes. At least these people, we know the names. But some of them, who actually die in the enemy territory, they don't even give us the body. So they are unsung heroes. They are our martyrs.
Ma'am, we nowadays see a lot of movies about army, navy, air force. We see a lot of movies about spice. How close is it to reality? We have a couple of movies. I wouldn't really name those movies, but how close is it to reality?
Okay, this one movie that came, regarding the induction of lady officers in the Air Force and what all difficulties they face staying among men and all that. I would first of all say that it was not real. That was not real, because women are not treated so badly, and nobody dare to treat us so badly. I mean, that is myth. Because yes, there might be a little bit of disparity. Like, I would say that when I joined the forces, I was I was the first logistics officer in that place. So I was, treated like a delicate darling. They didn't treat me like an Fauji. They, treated me like a lady. And I didn't mind that. That's all right. Also, what is wrong in it? Yes, but when it came to work, we never compromised. We didn't say that, okay, don't give us work because we are ladies. No, I went on the tarmac. Probably I was 8 months pregnant. I was on the tarmac, ensured engine was loaded at 8 o'clock in the night, and then that aircraft went. Then I went home. So I didn't say that, oh, bhai, now I'm pregnant, so I'm not supposed to do this and this, that, and all. We didn't cry and wail. So, but yes, there might be difficulties, but that is there. Whenever it is there for the men also. So, being the first lady officer, uh, there was no washrooms. That part of the movie was right. There was no washroom for us separately. So, there was only men's washroom, and they never catered for it for some time. Then, quickly, my senior logistics officer, he said, if you want, because I had a vehicle, so he said, quickly, if you want, you can go to the room and come back, whenever you want. That kind of freedom we had. So, but then still, we didn't take advantage of those freedoms that we got. We worked hard. And also, after that, within a few years, I remember my first that flight room when we entered the 43 squadron. I was there in that squadron. I was posted there, and the first look was all girls, ladies pictures there. I said, what nonsense? What are you doing? Then my CEO had to quickly come and said, get all these things removed, boys, because boys will be boys. That's what they said. But now our flight rooms are different. Things have changed and they have adapted for the women to be there. And of course, now we are a big part of the defense forces. So I'm sure we have come a long way in from being a little shy in asking for our things, and also certain things we also require. And I think women officers have done very well for themselves, and I congratulate all of them.
Ma'am, how were you inducted into the Indian Air Force? What training did you undergo? And what exam did you write? And as soon as you were recruited, how was the first mission that you ever undertook in the logistics part?
Okay, so our examination, I wrote my written examination at Mysuru. That it is staff selection board. There about, I think, 350 girls were there on the first day of our exam, and then we wrote the exam. And after the exam was over, they shortlisted 40. So the rest 260 went home. So then after that, the 40 of us stayed there in the SSB for 5 days. We had a staff selection examination, which consists of various things. It consists of psychological test, physical test, group discussions and interviews and so many things. It goes for 5 days. So it's a big exam. So after the 5 days, the exam is over. Then we are again given that selection thing. That's the scariest part, maybe. So out of the 46 of us were selected. So it is 300 versus 6 people. And out of these 6, we came to Bangalore, this aerospace medicine, and then where we again underwent medical examinations, and 3 of us cleared it and 3 of us failed. So it is 3 out of 300. So that is the kind of selection that happens. And after that, we are selected. Then again, there is a merit list. After that, you go to the Air Force Academy for your training, and which again is pretty tough. There are a lot of things that you do there. And after the training is over, then you are posted at various places. My first posting was to Jorhat, that is in Assam. So I'm from Bangalore, but I was posted to Assam. So I would say that, and everybody was posted to Nal, Nalia, and God knows what all places they were posted to. And I had never heard of the name Jorhat at all, and we were trying to find out on the map where is this. So it's fun and it is exciting.
Ma'am, what's a funny incident that happened while you were serving?
Okay, like generally, like I said earlier, the male counterparts are always like dukhi. Oh, what are you? You are not able to run. You this, that, and all. They'll keep, nagging you all the time that you couldn't clear the swimming test. Arey, kuch nahi hoga. They all continued like that. And this one particular boy was there. His father also was an AVM. So AVM means Air Vice Marshal, and he used to always pester us. He dodo dodo, come on, run. So then after that, what happened was, after about 8 9 months, we had to go to a camp called FCTC camp. Now at this point in time, we had to go for a route march. It is through a jungle for about 14 kilometers, and it is at night. We have to have your torches and so many things, water, rifle, backpack, everything is there. So and it was team effort, so we had to win that. So he was in my team, and I had one more girl and another boy, so we were four of us in the team, I think five. So now this boy fell ill. He had fever when we reached the FCTC camp. He was in our team. We started cribbing. भाई तू तो चल नहीं पाएगा, हराएगा हमको, this that and all. Then he was actually very sick, high fever and all that. We told him, you go back, but if he goes back, then he cannot clear his commissioning. So that also was there. So we said कि चलो तेरे को लेके चलेंगे. And then I took his rifle, and my another girl who was with me, officer, she took his backpack. One more boy, he tried to help him with so that he can put his hand on the shoulder, and we walked through. We finished that, and we got second place, because girls, we were very good at whatever map reading and navigation and all that. We quickly reached the place. Though it is a long this one, we took all kinds of pros and cons, and we reached. And that is when he said that aaj se I will never say anything to the girls. So I found that very funny and very interesting, because throughout the way, though it is a very tough journey, we have backpacks, we have luggage, and we have to walk with boots and rigs and all those things, but still throughout we were amused at him. We could have we had a punching bag, तेरे को अच्छे से punch करेंगे. So I think that was one of the incidents. And till today, whenever we meet, he's still in service, and whenever we meet, याद रखना कि हुआ क्या था, बोल देंगे कहीं ना कहीं. So I think that is really very funny for me, at least. Not for him, maybe. So I think that is one of the funny incidents.
What goes around comes around.
Yes, absolutely.
How is retirement life treating you, ma'am?
Retirement life is amazing, very nice. But of course, I miss serving in the Air Force. But I think I'm doing fine.
Ma'am, did you take a voluntary retirement?
I didn't take a voluntary retirement. I served only for the short service commission for the period of time.
Okay.
So I was given an extension to serve more, but due to some family obligations and things like that, I had to, change route. That's the thing.
What message would you like to give to the young girls for joining the armed forces now?
Join the armed forces. I think that's the biggest message. Just join. I promise you that you will have an amazing life. Be focused on what you want, and I'm sure you will really, really do amazing. And I think it is the best career options that you might have.
Ma'am, what is your definition of patriotism? People think patriotism means going to the border, sacrificing their life for the sake of the country. Is that patriotism?
No, it is not. Sometimes when we talk to our students and all, ki, what will you do? Ki, hum mar mitenge, and all those who wants to go for the NDA, we used to say, hum to desh ke liye mar mitenge. I used to say, marna nahi hai. You should not die for your country. You should live for your country. What is the reason for you to die for the country? First, you live for the country. You fight for the country. In that bargain, if you die, then that's well and good. But otherwise, you should first live for the country. And for that, I will say that youngsters should have a very healthy lifestyle. They should do things right within the country, not waste their time. Time is money, time is energy, time is everything. So, wasting every minute that you have now is something that you have wasted for life. Even small little things like, you recycle plastic, don't throw things into the river, go and plant some trees, do something for the country, is that also. It is not that you have to go to the borders, you have to go anywhere to fight. Within the country, stop fighting on religion, caste, creed, language. That's not important. Your country is important. It's always important that you do something for the country, and that can be in any form. Being disciplined is the first thing. Follow traffic rules. Do not cause accidents. Do not destroy the public property. And if somebody is doing it, stop them and protect the women in the society. Let them not this one, stop domestic violence, stop drinking, stop smoking. You know, simple things that you have to lead a very healthy lifestyle. That itself is helping your country. You see other countries like Japan and all, they have amazing lifestyles. So I think we need to follow a good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. That itself is protecting your country. And if you're going abroad, studying there, you please come back and do something for the country. That is important. And even if you're outside, support your country. That is important. So patriotism does not mean that you have to be in the country. Patriotism does not mean that you have to be in the defense services. Patriotism means you put nation first. Then everything else can follow. That is patriotism.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answers. This was a really interesting conversation. Thank you so much for being on the show. Please do like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you. Jai Hind.